Please welcome Executive Director of the Democratic National Convention Committee, Alex Hornbrook, and Co-Chair of the Democratic National Convention, New Jersey Senator Cory Booker.
Good evening, everyone. On behalf of Convention Chair Mignon Moore, it is my honor to pass the gavel to Co-Chair Senator Cory Booker.
All right, the third session of the 49th Quadrennial National Convention of the Democratic Party will now come to order. Let's party with a purpose.
Please welcome Priest Sri Rakesh Bhatt and Bishop Leah Daughtry.
Om samani va aku otis samana hridayani vaha samana vastu vo mano yata avassu sahasati. We should be in unison. Let our minds think together. Let our hearts beat as one, all for the betterment of society. May this make us powerful, so we can unite and make our nation proud. Paraspara vivadetu vayam panchashatanchate anyai saha vivadetu vayam panchottaram shatam. Even if we have differences, when it comes to the nation, we have to be united, and it moves us towards justice for all. We are one universal family. Vayam sarvepi vasudeva kutumbakaha. Satyameva jayate sarvadahi. Asotoma sadgamaya. Tamasoma jyotirgamaya. Mrutyorma astamgamaya. Truth is our foundation and always prevails. Lead us from unreal to real, from darkness to the light, and from death to immortality. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.
In the book of Isaiah 58 and 12, some of you will rebuild the ancient ruins. You will restore the foundations laid long ago. You shall be called the repairer of the breach, the restorer of streets in which to dwell. Let us pray. O God, creator of heaven and earth, lover of peace, freedom, and justice, we thank you for this privilege and this opportunity to gather today for the important work of visioning our nation's future. We gather at a critical time in our nation when we are at the crossroads of hopelessness and hopefulness, when the forces of good and evil so plainly battle for the hearts and minds of our people, when right is called wrong and wrong is called right, when up is called down and down is called up, when fake is called fact and fact is called fake, when it seems truth forever on the scaffold and wrong forever on the throne. And yet, even in the midst of this chaos and confusion, we see now a light on the horizon, and we are grateful. Grateful for hope, grateful for purpose, grateful for direction. You have called us to this moment, to march together toward the light, to join together with one voice in one fight, to move our nation away from division and despair and forward toward its highest ideals. As we gather today, seeking to fulfill the responsibility of faithful citizenship, We ask for divine guidance to help us remember our calling, to serve the least, the last, and the lost, the left out, the locked out, and the left behind, to be their voice, to be their hope, to be their strength, to be their light, to fight for them with courage and compassion, for them and for ourselves, for the work that must be done, for the bridges that must be built, for the walls that must be destroyed, for the children who must be saved, for the doors that must be opened, for the sick who must be healed, and for the last who must be first. We ask for strength for the journey, clarity of thought, sharpness of vision, singleness of purpose, and the courage of our convictions to make the promise of America the practice of America. And may we build the old waste places. May we raise up the foundations of our future so that in generations to come, we shall be called the repairers of the breach and the restorers of streets in which to dwell. Because we ask it in your name, we declare that it is so. And all of God's children say, amen.
Please welcome Moreland Arts and Health Sciences Magnet School 3rd and 4th graders to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Please welcome 2019 Minnesota Teacher of the Year, Jess Davis, to sing our national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red and glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Please welcome Democratic National Committee Chair Jamie Harrison and the officers of the Democratic National Committee.
Hello, hello. So my friends, for the past 3.5 years, I'm fortunate to have worked with some amazing Democrats to strengthen and rebuild this Democratic Party. Please welcome to the stage several of our DNC officers. Vice Chair, President of the ASDC, and Chair of the Minnesota DFL, Ken Martin. Vice Chair and former Mayor Keisha Lance Bottoms. Vice Chair Henry Munoz. Treasurer Virginia McGregor. And you all know him from last night, the famous roll call star, our Secretary, Jason Ray. Fellow delegates, we now ask that you approve 3 honorary resolutions conveying our appreciation for those in Chicago who have set the stage for this convention's success. Our first resolution thanks the great city of Chicago, its mayor, governor, host committee, and residents for their unwavering dedication to organizing this historic convention. Our second resolution thanks the first responders who are working to protect every citizen and visitor of the Windy City. Our third and final resolution thanks the federal delegation of Illinois, its 14 U.S. representatives, and Senators Durbin and Duckworth for their continual support of the convention. We move that the convention approve these honorary resolutions. Delegates, you have heard the motion to approve these honorary resolutions. Is there a second? All in favor, please say aye. All opposed, say nay. The ayes have it, and the motion is passed.
All right, y'all, welcome to night 3. And tonight is about freedom. But first, I want to acknowledge a loss today. A man who always fought for freedom. Today, we lost Congressman Bill Pascrell, who passed away early this morning. Now, he's a Jersey legend. He is a powerful pugilist, a Prince of Paterson. He served in our state assembly. He served as our mayor. And for 27 years, he served in Congress. He never forgot where he came from in Paterson. And he never stopped fighting. He could push some pachyderms. He fought for the people. And so today, while we're heartbroken, we all are a people who can hold loss and joy in our hearts, because we are sad for his loss, but we celebrate his life. Let's give him a round of applause. And now, some of the greatest heroes, some of the greatest warriors, some of the greatest champions for fighting for reproductive freedom. I welcome them to the stage.
Don't know why, but I feel like freedom.
In America, women's reproductive rights are in jeopardy. Former President Trump has a record of restricting abortion access and putting women's lives at risk.
The government should not have a say on if a woman can choose to have an abortion.
As a woman who has personally experienced the life-saving benefits of abortion, I know firsthand how important it is.
I want to make sure that access to contraception is not only available, but expanded, and that every person has the right to choose when, where, how, and if they want to start a family.
To women everywhere, it's your body. Don't put someone in office who only wants to control it.
This election is about our health care, our rights, and our lives. Let's stand together and vote for a better future.
My body, my right. Please vote for Kamala Harris.
Please welcome President of Reproductive Freedom for All, Minnie Timaraju.
when abortion is on the ballot, we win. In California, Kansas, Kentucky, Michigan, Montana, Ohio, and Vermont. Voters sent a message. You come for our rights, we're gonna come roaring back. And it seems like every day another state gets added to the list. So let's hear it for Arizona, and Montana. The latest states to announce that the people will get to have their say this November. Because voters who support reproductive freedom, we're not the minority, we're the majority. And if there are two people who should understand that Americans' private lives are none of anybody's business, it's Donald Trump and J.D. Vance. Instead, Trump brags about overturning Roe v. Wade. And if you want to know what he's going to do in office, Google Project 2025. Kamala Harris has her own project for 2025, restoring reproductive freedom. It's simple. Do we want a president who said women should be punished for having abortions, or a president who trusts women? A vice president who voted against protecting fertility treatment, or a vice president who used fertility treatment to start a family? A president who created the crisis we're in, or a president who will fix it? This election will decide America's future. So let's elect Kamala Harris and Tim Walz. Thank you.
Please welcome President and CEO of Planned Parenthood, Alexis McGill Johnson.
Last summer, a Planned Parenthood patient in Georgia realized that she was pregnant and didn't want to be. But Georgia bans abortion after 6 weeks. So she drove to South Carolina, but arrived the day that their 6-week ban went into effect. She went back home and then went to Florida. But she arrived just days when she was too late under their ban. She had to fly all the way to California to get an abortion. Now remember, each time she had to get the money up, she had to miss work, she had to find childcare. Now imagine if this was an emergency situation. In Texas, doctors who have feared going to jail have sent patients to wait in hospital parking lots rather than provide the emergency care they need. And in Idaho, they have airlifted patients to other states. We cannot call ourselves a free nation when women are not free. More than 1 in 3 women and nearly half of all Black women live in banned states. Donald Trump wants women to be less free and pregnancy to be more dangerous. But I'm here to tell you, in no way Are Donald J. Trump and J.D. Vance more qualified than doctors and women to make these decisions? We decide. We trust women. We trust doctors. And we trust Kamala Harris. Our future is on the ballot. Our bodies are on the ballot. And come November 5th, we will decide this election.
Donald Trump said he wants to punish women. And as a result of his actions, today in America, 1 out of 3 women live in a state with a Trump abortion ban. 1 out of 3. Some of these bans go back to the 1800s, even before women had a right to vote. Think about that. Well, Tim and I have a message for Trump and others who want to turn back the clock on our fundamental freedoms. We're not going back.
Please welcome former president of Planned Parenthood, Cecile Richards.
These last few weeks have been a celebration of women, from cheering on Team USA to supporting Kamala Harris for president. As my mother, Governor Ann Richards, would say, I hear America singing. When women are free to make their own decisions about their lives and to follow our dreams, we are unstoppable. But when Roe versus Wade was overturned, a generation of young people lost that freedom. Like Ashley, a 12-year-old rape survivor in Mississippi. Because of her state's abortion ban, she started 7th grade with a newborn. That's the Republican promise of states' rights. Last year, I became a grandmother. And during my daughter's pregnancy, nothing mattered more to me than her health. Politics should never stand in the way of anyone's health care or prevent any family from experiencing the joy my grandson, Teddy, has brought to my life. One day, our children and grandchildren may ask us, when it was all on the line, what did you do? And the only acceptable answer is, everything we could. This is our time. This is our time. So let's go elect Kamala Harris and Tim Walz.
Don't know why, but I feel like
We were so lucky. We got to be the first couple married in California, in San Francisco, City Hall, no less. So we arrived at City Hall and were so thrilled to find out that Attorney General Harris wanted to come and officiate our wedding. She not only walked across, but she ran across the lawn to join us just in time to be married. And she brought such joy to the space and to us, and has ever since, because Attorney General Harris, now Vice President Harris, soon to be President Harris, believes in all families, and she believes in our family. We were so happy last year to get to join Vice President Harris at the White House for the Equality Act signing, and she invited our entire family, and it was a very joyful occasion because Kamala believes in family, and we can't wait to meet Madam President next time.
Please welcome President of the Human Rights Campaign, Kelly Robinson.
The story of America is a story of progress towards freedom. In just a few generations, my family went from being enslaved in Mississippi to being the first free black family in Muscatine, Iowa. To now, preparing to elect President Kamala Harris. Progress is happening, my friends. The 20-plus million LGBTQ+ Americans are living proof of it. We are your friends and your neighbors, your classmates and your family. Like Daniel, a trans kid in Tucson who's going to his very first prom. Like Eric from San Antonio, who sacrificed in combat and then came home to battle Don't Ask, Don't Tell. Like Sandy and Chris, the first same-sex couple to get legally married in California 11 years ago, in a ceremony officiated by Kamala Harris. Donald Trump wants to erase us. He would ban our health care, belittle our marriages, bury our stories, but we're not going anywhere. We are not going back. Kamala Harris. Kamala Harris and Tim Walz, they are champions for LGBTQ+ freedom, y'all. So tonight, we're fighting for lesbian, gay, bisexual, queer, and trans freedom without exception. We're fighting for equality for all without exception. We're fighting for joy. Somebody say joy. Somebody say joy. Without exception. And when we fight, thank you.
Please welcome President of Emily's List, Jessica Mackler.
Donald Trump took away our rights, but he can never take away our power. Republican attacks on abortion didn't begin with the end of Roe, and they didn't end there either. Millions of women across this country are living with the devastating consequences of Republican abortion bans. Now comes Project 2025, a blueprint for banning abortion in all 50 states. It would give extremists like Donald Trump and J.D. Vance the power to monitor your pregnancy and even prosecute doctors for mailing abortion medication. Make no mistake, the threat of Project 2025 is very real, but so is our ability to stop it. In 2022, Democrats didn't just run on reproductive freedom, we won on reproductive freedom. And in 2024, we are coming back to the polls to finish the job. In his devastating opinion, Justice Alito wrote that women are not without electoral or political power. And Donald Trump and Republicans are about to find out just how true that is. The opportunity is before us. The power is in our hands, and the time is now.
Please welcome President and CEO of Voto Latino, Maria Teresa Kumar.
Here's a fact. When Latinos vote, Democrats win. Now, not everyone believes it, so I brought receipts. we flipped Nevada and Colorado in 2008. We delivered in 2020. Joe Biden and Kamala Harris won Georgia by 12,000 votes. Voto Latino, we registered 23,000 voters there. They won Arizona by 10,400 votes. We registered 34,000 voters there. Because we proved that when Latinos vote, Democrats win. Now, they're trying to suppress our vote. Boo. Our sacred and universal right as Americans. So let me be clear. Voto Latino has registered 1.5 million voters. And we are just getting started. Because since 2020, 4 million young Latinos have become eligible to vote this election. And I couldn't be prouder because we are registering them faster than any time in our history. This year, we will prove it again. When Latinos vote, you guys got the memo. Another fun fact, this year, more Latinos will vote than any time in our history. So that means, sí se puede, se está haciendo, sí se puede. So that means that together, we will make history and elect Kamala Harris president. Vota!
Don't know why, but I feel like freedom.
My name is Scott from Tennessee. I'm a former Trump voter.
My name is Matthew. I'm from Pennsylvania, and I'm a former Trump voter.
My name is Mike. I live in southeastern Pennsylvania, and I am a former Trump voter.
The main reasons why I won't support Donald J. Trump for president again starts with his chaotic behavior.
He doesn't care about me. He doesn't care about my family. He doesn't care about working people.
34 counts, felony counts that he was found guilty of. That's not who we want running our country.
Trump scares the hell out of me.
2024 will be the first time that I have not voted for a Republican.
I will be proudly voting for Kamala Harris.
Representative Tom Suozzi.
I'm Tom Suozzi, and early this year, I flipped the seat from red to blue. My father came from Italy as a boy. He was the first kid in the neighborhood to go to college. He served as a navigator during World War II, came home, and at 28 was elected the youngest judge in the history of New York State. What a country. The immigrant experience, e pluribus unum, out of many, one. My family's experience, Kamala Harris's experience, the American experience. That's why the polarization on immigration is so painful. Let's be clear, the border is broken. But this year, when Democrats and Republicans worked together to finally write new border laws, we were blocked. We all know who sabotaged us. We reject the divisiveness. We reject the dysfunction. We reject the deception. My Italian grandfather used to toast new couples. he'd say marriage sometimes is hard, but in the end, non ci sono rose senza spine. You can't have the roses without the thorns. You have to work for it. To be a nation of immigrants is hard sometimes too. You have to work for it. Tonight, we celebrate the roses of life. We come together from every state, from every ethnicity, from every race and religion. We come together tonight to celebrate our candidate, Kamala Harris, who knows America is worth it, who knows this nation, built by immigrants, is a rare and beautiful thing, and who joyfully accepts the challenge to work across party lines, to secure our border, to treat people like human beings, and to move our country forward.
Don't know why, but I feel like freedom.
One reason here of the many of why I'm voting for Vice President Kamala Harris and Governor Tim Walz. I want to keep what President Biden started with the infrastructure plan and getting this country moving.
Because of these investments into our country, it has put people like me, young people like me, Gen Zers, into work in the trades, working on electricity, carpentry, you name it.
The Inflation Reduction Act and the infrastructure bill had the biggest impact on climate change.
It's going to give us the opportunity to electrify our 7,000 square foot facility and go solar in the next 2 years.
If you invest money in infrastructure, you're investing money in the country.
Vote for Harris-Walz in November to continue these investments into our country and to grow our country forward.
We should all vote Harris-Walz 2024.
Please welcome Cincinnati Mayor Aftab Pureball and Milwaukee Mayor Cavalier Johnson.
Hello, my name is Aftab Pureball, and I am the first Asian American mayor in the great city of Cincinnati. As a Tibetan refugee, my mom believed deeply in the promise of America. And when I was growing up, she and my dad, who is from India, taught me that when you make a promise, you keep it. For years, politicians came through my city and promised to fix the Brent Spence Bridge, which connects Ohio to Kentucky. Donald Trump was one of them. He did what they all do, press conference here, photo op there, but nothing changed until Kamala Harris and Joe Biden. Joe Biden told Cincinnatians, we're gonna fix that damn bridge. And 4 months later, he signed the bipartisan infrastructure law. It gave our city the biggest infrastructure investment in history. It will stitch our communities back together, and it will fix that damn bridge once and for all. That's what leadership looks like. Not hollow promises, but solid progress. Not lip service, but true, honest-to-God public service. And under Kamala Harris, the progress will only continue.
I'm Milwaukee Mayor Cavalier Johnson from the great state of Wisconsin. In Wisconsin, keeping promises is important. So is making amends for your mistakes. One of those mistakes happened 60 years ago in a neighborhood called Bronzeville. brimming with black music, black culture, and entrepreneurship. And then came urban renewal and the construction of Interstates 94 and 43, ripping our communities apart. 6th Street was widened and people of color were displaced. Homes destroyed, businesses shuttered, all for a quicker commute. Under Kamala Harris and Joe Biden, we're bringing Bronzeville back. With more green space, bike paths, and walkable streets to serve people who actually live there. The music is coming back. The culture is coming back. And thanks to the bipartisan infrastructure law, the opportunities are coming back. It's now my privilege to introduce two Milwaukeeans who know firsthand the power of reconnecting our communities, Rashawn Spivey and Deanna Branch.
My name is Deanna Branch, and I'm an advocate and mom from Milwaukee. When my son, Aiden, was 2, he was hospitalized due to high levels of lead in his blood. Lead was everywhere, in our pipes, in our paint, and in our soil. President Biden and Vice President Harris passed the bipartisan infrastructure law. It's removing lead pipes from communities like ours. As president, Kamala Harris will make sure everyone can drink clean water and be, in Aiden's words, lead-free superheroes.
My name is Rashawn Spivey, the owner of Hero Plumbing in Milwaukee. When President Biden and Vice President Harris announced their goal to replace every lead pipe in America, Hero stepped up to help make that vision a reality. We went to work replacing lead pipes that served homes and child care communities or child care centers in our communities. Since then, we've replaced more than 1,000 pipes. That was made possible thanks to Vice President Kamala Harris. And when she visited Milwaukee 2 years ago, I got to show her our work up close. Because of her leadership, I've grown my business and helped kids like Aiden have safer, healthier lives.
Don't know why, but I feel like
Vice President Harris came and visited my restaurant. She understands immigrant-owned businesses. She understands women-owned businesses.
She understands the important role of small businesses and sees business owners not just as the backbone of our economy, but as community leaders.
She has a proven track record of advocating for policies that support small businesses and push for economic equity.
The sueño americano está vivo. The American dream is alive.
The last 4 years have been positive, and we've experienced growth. I am truly excited to have Kamala Harris as a presidential candidate.
In this election, we have another opportunity to prosper, to connect, and to unite under the American dream.
I'm proud to support her for president because I believe she will lead us to a brighter future.
Please welcome Delaware Representative Lisa Blunt Rochester.
I'm Lisa Blunt Rochester, mother, grandmother, and congresswoman, and hopefully the next senator from the great state of Delaware. The proud home of President Biden. We love you, Joe. In Delaware, we know that when small businesses thrive, communities thrive. We know that when our roads and our bridges are strong, communities are strong. When everyone has a fair shot at a better future, America is limitless. Now, Democrats, we know this, but you know who doesn't know it? Donald Trump. He has, with his friends, said the quiet parts out loud, but not only said them out loud, he wrote a book about it. What's it called? Project 2025. So with so much on the line, we've got to turn our biggest challenges into our greatest and brightest of hope. For me, Bright Hope was the name of the church that my grandmother attended for 70 years in Philadelphia. It's not just a name. It's how I approach my life. It's how I'll lead as Delaware Senator. And it's how Kamala sees the future of America. Now, there are some who think our politics are too broken for Bright Hope. But if you want to see hope, just look. Bright Hope is record numbers of Black and brown entrepreneurs starting businesses. Bright Hope is an opportunity economy where we invest in our communities and build affordable housing. Ladies and gentlemen, Bright Hope is 4 words. Madam President Kamala Harris. Are you ready for Bright Hope? Are you ready to fight for our freedom? Are you ready to flip the House, protect the Senate, and send Kamala to the White House? Then let's go!
Wow. Wow. Oh my gosh. Lisa Blunt Rochester, know that name. Know that name. My friend, my sister, and soon to be our senator. I can't wait to work with her in the Senate. But next, we're going to hear more about the ongoing fight for reproductive freedom. This is a fight that affects every single American, no matter where you live, so-called blue states or red states. If Donald Trump has his way, he's gonna push through their extreme agenda. Project 1825. I'm sorry. I roll that back. I got that wrong. Project 1925. Oh, I'm sorry. Project 2025. That poisonous agenda where every single state will be in a state of crisis. So let's hear more from leaders who are fighting back.
All to be equal.
Live my life.
Freedom means my choice.
IBF. Union strong.
Basic human rights.
Freedom means everything!
Please welcome New York Representative Grace Meng.
Generations of women fought for our rights to vote, our right to financial independence, and our right to reproductive freedom. Our mothers and grandmothers marched for us. Because of them, my husband and I were able to choose if and when to start a family. And we have 2 energetic boys running around at home. Now it is our turn to take the torch for our children and grandchildren. All across our country, women are being denied life-saving health care and the right to determine their futures. And a second Trump term will be even worse. He will not stop at banning abortion. He'll let states track pregnancies. He'll put birth control and fertility treatment at risk. Trump's plan is cruel, it's dangerous, but it is not inevitable. Tonight, we mobilize for Kamala Harris. November 5th, we move forward with Kamala Harris because we are not going back.
Please welcome Colorado Governor Jared Polis.
Tonight, let's talk about freedom, including our most intimate freedom, choosing when and if to have children and have a family. And let's talk about Project 2025, Donald Trump's roadmap to ban abortion in all 50 states. Look, that sounds crazy, but right here on page 562, it says that Donald Trump could use an obscure law from the 1800s to single-handedly ban abortion in all 50 states, even putting doctors in jail. Page 486 puts limits on contraception. Page 450 threatens access to IVF. On page 455, Project 2025 says that states have to report miscarriages to the Trump administration. Page 451 says the only legitimate family is a married mother and father where only the father works. You know what? I'm going to take that one out. I'm going to put that in my pocket so I can share it with undecided voters so they better understand what's at stake this election. Project 2025 would turn the entire federal government and bureaucracy into a massive machine. It would weaponize it to control our reproductive and personal choices. Look, as a Redditor, gamer, entrepreneur, and Swiftie from the free state of Colorado, I'm excited by Kamala Harris's vision for protecting and expanding our personal freedom, internet freedom, and economic freedom. Democrats welcome weird, but we're not weirdos telling families who can and can't have kids who to marry or how to live our lives. These Project 2025 people, like Trump and Vance, are not just weird, they're dangerous. They want to take us backwards, but we aren't going back. Like ever, ever, ever. Let's stop Project 2025 and elect Kamala Harris president this November.
Please welcome Florida Representative Debbie Wasserman Schultz.